Hey everybody, it's time for our Sunday videos here, one of them being this one, Games of the Week, where I look at the upcoming week in the NHL and pick out which games and matchups I think are going to be the best, most exciting, most fun to watch in the NHL this week. So before we get into it, I just ask that you please subscribe if you are new, hit that thumbs up button if you haven't yet. Both of those things help out so much and are greatly appreciated. But let's get into it here, looking at our Games of the Week this week in the NHL. So as you can see, we go Sunday through Saturday here, and then the new list for next week will start on Sunday. And so today, or Super Bowl Sunday, the 7th, we have the Philadelphia Flyers versus the Washington Capitals, which I will be streaming for. Phenomenal matchup there in the East Division between two teams that are really going to be a good test for one another, and a really fun matchup to watch between teams that don't like each other as well. So I'm really looking forward to these Flyers-Capitals matchups in the East. We also have the LA Kings versus the Vegas Golden Knights. This is a big matchup out west. LA has really been struggling. Vegas is just coming back from a little bit of a break because of COVID issues that they had. So, huge matchup out west where LA is going to look to pick up some big points. Vegas is going to look to make sure that they pick up where they left off before they stopped for a week or so from playing. So, a big matchup there that I'm looking forward to. Vegas did beat LA in their first of these matchups on Friday, so it'll be interesting to see if LA has an answer here in the second game. Moving on to Monday the 8th. We have the New York Islanders versus the New York Rangers. I mean, is there really much more I need to say about that? It's Rangers-Isles, huge rivalry. Islanders have not been playing well, and then they had a stoppage because they were supposed to play Buffalo this week, and obviously Buffalo's having some COVID issues. So Islanders haven't played in a while. Rangers starting to get in their groove a little bit, playing much better as of recent, starting to win some games. I think getting Tony DeAngelo out of that locker room is absolutely huge for them, and now they have a massive rivalry matchup against their in-state rival, which is going to be phenomenal. Also Monday night, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Nashville Predators, and I am really excited for this matchup in the Central Division. Tampa Bay is absolutely rolling. Nashville is trying to show that they're a playoff team. And these two teams have played already this season, and the games were very physical, and there's already been a couple fights between these two teams. So I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a fun, nasty, physical game to watch, and they've been playing close games against each other as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Moving on to Tuesday the 9th, we have Philadelphia and Washington again, and everything that I said about their first matchup applies there for the second one. Huge matchup there. We have Tampa Bay and Nashville again. They play on back-to-back nights. Everything still applies there. That is going to be a really fun game without a doubt. And a new matchup added to the list, the Calgary Flames and the Winnipeg Jets. Let me tell you, I cannot wait for that one. That's a huge matchup between a team that needs to start playing better in the Calgary Flames, and also a big game for Winnipeg, who's actually had a really solid start to the season and has been winning and has a really nice record here at the beginning of the year. So Calgary would love to try and climb the standings a little bit with a big win. Winnipeg wants to keep playing like they have been and keep winning and hold their playoff positioning. So that will be a huge Canadian matchup. Moving on now to Wednesday, the 10th of February. There's only two games in the NHL that night, but they are both massive. Boston versus the New York Rangers. I mean, this original six rivalry, they're in the same division this year. It's their first time playing this season. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Obviously, they're not normally in the same division, which kind of has lessened the rivalry over the years, but they're back in the same division for this season with the realignment, and it's going to be absolutely a great matchup, and I can't wait to see how the Rangers look against a team like the Bruins, who are leading the division and only have one regulation loss this season. I can't wait to see that Boston-New York rivalry kind of get back a little bit this year. Hopefully it does. And this being the first matchup could really set the tone for the season series. So really excited for that one. And then we also have Toronto versus Montreal that night. And again, I feel like that's one I really don't need to talk a lot about. It's Canadiens-Leafs. I mean, huge rivals, Canadian rivalry, Original Six rivalry, division rivalry. These teams just absolutely hate each other, and they both happen to be the two best teams in the North Division right now as well. So not only is the rivalry there, but it's gonna be great hockey as well between two teams that are looking for first place and try a big 2 points on the line and a big win on the line. So really, really excited for that one. Moving on now to Thursday the 11th, we have Pittsburgh versus the New York Islanders. This is a huge matchup in the East. Islanders need to get their season back on track. They have not had a good start. And the Penguins, they're hovering right around 500. They're trying to string some wins together and really start to put some wins in the win column and solidify themselves as a playoff team. Islanders are trying to get back into playoff positioning, so that's going to be a massive game there. We have Tampa Bay versus Florida, which is a huge matchup in the Central Division. Florida, at least as of now, maybe this will have changed by the time they play on Thursday, but as of now have not lost a game in regulation yet. Tampa Bay's off to a great start, leading that division at 7-1-1. So a huge matchup that could potentially have first place on the line, depending on how the games earlier in the week go for both of those teams. And then we have Calgary versus Vancouver, which is an absolutely massive, massive matchup. The Canucks are desperately trying to get their season back on track. They have been abysmal to start this year. And like I said earlier, Calgary hasn't been all that great either. They are under 500 as of right now. They have not been nearly as good as they hope to be. So that's going to be a huge win for whichever team is able to come out of that game with 2 points. Moving on to Friday, there's only really one game I think there's only one game on Friday, and it is a game of the week. It's the second matchup between the Boston Bruins and the New York Rangers. Everything I said about their first matchup applies to the second one. That's just Boston versus New York. First time meeting this season, or I guess this would be the second meeting of the season, but first series of the season between the two. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And that brings us finally to Saturday, the 13th, where we once again have another matchup between the Tampa Bay Lightning and Florida Panthers. That's going to be absolutely huge. The Leafs and Canadiens play again. I'm sure that's Hockey Night in Canada, Saturday night. Just phenomenal matchup there. And again, the two best teams in the North Division. And then we also have the Flames and Canucks playing again, which, like I said, huge game there between two teams that have not gotten off to the starts that they hope to, and a big, big 2 points on the line. So those are your games of the week for this week in the NHL. Obviously, a lot of great action throughout the league all week long. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be watching as many of these games as I can. I'll be streaming some of them, and it's just going to be another fun week of NHL action. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon merchandise store and donation link are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.